Hi there, and welcome to another Trophy Comics Awards video. And this is video number 5, where I'll be showcasing 26 American comic books in alphabetical order. And these are comic books that have either won awards, have award-winning ties, deserve wider recognition, and books that I feel that deserve an award. So yeah, I'm just going to get on with it. And the first book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Attack on Titan Anthology, free comic book day issue, released by Kodansha Comics. And Attack on Titan is a really popular anime and manga series that has won over 40 industry awards. And yeah, it's a really cool promotional issue, this one, that awarded a Trophy Comics Award for a promotional comic book and a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And don't ignore like these free promotional comic books, as there's a lot of manga fans out there, and manga currently outsells American comic books in America by a vast margin, and it's very popular. So yeah, any of these free comic book day promotional issues that contain manga stories and manga promotionals, I do highly recommend keeping a lookout for in the back issue bins, as they can be found for quite cheap, and they could fetch some good money on the back issue market. And there are a number of other Attack on Titan free comic book day book issues available. So yeah, really neat book. And yeah, a book I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for a promotional comic book and a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. Okay, so that was the first one. The next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Bone 10th Anniversary Special Edition, featuring cover and art by Jeff Smith. And this book was published by his Cartoon Books. And this book is a really neat one that I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint, as I believe this is the first time a Bone story was actually reprinted in full colour. And this issue came with a free foam Bone box figure and a phony Bone gazillion dollar bill. Nowadays, Bone is published by Scholastic of Dogman fame, and is one of the best-selling series of all time, outselling most DC Comics and Marvel titles. And the original Bone series, that was printed in black and white, is a critically acclaimed series and has won more than 40 industry awards. So yeah, this is a really neat book that awarded a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint. And also this book features updated lettering by Jeff Smith. So yeah, really neat book. And also I'd like to say that Netflix has acquired the rights to do a Bone TV show. And if that show turns out to be really popular, then this is a book that could skyrocket in popularity. So yeah, so keep a lookout for Bone 10th Anniversary Special Edition. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Centipede, issue number 1 of 5, featuring a really cool video game cover. And this is a 1 in 5 variant. And the interiors are actually drawn by Francesco Francavilla, who's a really talented artist. And yeah, he's also done a number of covers for this series also. But this is a really neat one, as the original Centipede game by Atari won an Archie Award in 1984 for Best Computer Action Game. So yeah, really cool book you can find for really cheap. That I've given a Trophy Comics Award, and it's a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner. So yeah, really neat book. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Detective Comics Volume 1, issue number 27. That features the first appearance of Batman. And this book was originally released in May 1939. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Bob Kane, as this issue has inspired numerous homage covers and collectibles. So yeah, it's a really neat one. And as a collector, I like to collect award-winning comic books between 1925 and 2025, so a 100-year time span. And I like to show a variety of books in my videos. And of course, this is a Golden Age book that I wanted to showcase. This isn't the actual original first printing, as I can't afford that, as it's way out of my price range. So the next best thing for me is facsimile comic books. So yeah, this is a good one just to showcase, and I just said I wanted to give an award to this book for inspiring comic book cover for Bob Kane. So yeah, really, really neat book. And yeah, okay, on to the next book. Okay, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have The Escapist, #1, published by Dark Horse Comics. And this is an anthology book that awarded a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And this book originally won an Eisner Award for Best Anthology Series in 2005. And it also won 2 Harvey Awards for Best New Series and Best Anthology. And it also won a Rasmanian Most Promising Newcomer Award for Eric Wright. And this book features the first appearance of the Escapist, who is based on characters from the novel Cavalier and Clay. So yeah, really, really neat book to keep a lookout for. And the book I'll give a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have a Marvel comic book. And here we have Fantastic Four, Volume 7, #1, featuring a really cool Alex Ross cover. And this book I gave a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award, as this book features a really, really cool cover by Alex Ross and features a story called The Last Town on the Left. This book was also a Multiversity Comics Best Single Issue of 2022, and also comicbook.com awarded Alex Ross Cover Artist of the Year in 2023. So yes, it's a really, really cool series that features some fantastic, like pun intended, Alex Ross covers. So yeah, keep a lookout for this series. Okay, so it's Fantastic Four, Volume 7, #1. Okay, and it's a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have The Goon, issue #19, written and illustrated by Eric Powell. And I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for comic book deserving of wider recognition. And this book has won an Eisner Award in 2008 for Best Writer Artist Humour for Eric Powell. And it also won an Eisner Award in 2008 for Best Painter Multimedia Artist Interiors for Eric Powell. And I did some research, and this was the only Goon comic book I could find that was released in 2007. So yeah, this is a really, really cool under the radar Goon comic book that I've awarded a Trophy Comics Award for a comic book deserving of wider recognition. And keep a lookout for any Goon issues in the back issue bins. So yeah, really, really neat book and series. Okay, well, the next book I'd like to show is a Free Comic Book Day issue published by Tokyo Pop. And this is Guardian of Fukushima. And this one is actually based on a true story. And I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for promotional comic book and a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And this is a really, really neat one. That was based on a true story where there's a nuclear power plant, like a radiation leak. There was a tsunami and it caused lots of devastation, and everyone had to be evacuated. And basically it's the story of one man who stayed behind to save all the animals. So yeah, it's a really, really cool story, and it's a true story. And yeah, this is a really, really cool Free Comic Book Day issue to keep a lookout for. And yeah, this is the kind of story that helps restore your faith in humanity. So yeah, highly recommended series. And this is a really, really cool promotional issue. So yeah, The Guardian of Fukushima. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is the independent comic book published by Fantagraphics Books. And this is Hate, issue #1 by Peter Bagge. And this one I awarded a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And yeah, the original series actually won a Harvey Award for best series in 1991. And yeah, really cool series to keep a lookout for in the back issue bins. And these books can be pretty tricky to find in high grade. So if you keep a lookout for them, and if you find them, then pick them up. So yeah, really neat series. And it's a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner for Hate, issue number 1. Okay. Right. The next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Investigators, Free Comic Book Day issue. And this is Take the Plunge, sneak peek, which is an original graphic novel series by John Patrick Green. And the Investigators series of books are actually award-winning books for all ages. And yeah, this is a really neat Free Comic Book Day preview issue. So yeah, keep a lookout for any Investigators Free Comic Book Day issues in the back issue bins. And yeah, really neat. And it's another series that sells really well. And if you've got some children and you want to get them into comic books, then this is a good series to check out. And yeah, really neat. Okay, so that's Investigators Free Comic Book Day issues. Okay, and I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for a promotional comic book and a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. Okay, really cool. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Jim Henson Presents issue number 1, featuring 4 original stories based on The Dark Crystal, Fraggle Rock, Labyrinth and Farscape. And Jim Henson is an absolute legend. And I gave this book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner. So yeah, really neat book. And yeah, really neat series. So yeah, really cool. So yeah, that's Jim Henson Presents issue number 1. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Liberty Meadows issue number 37. And this was the last issue in the series by Frank Cho that was published by Image Comics and not Insight Studios, who is Frank Cho's publishing company. And this book deserves wider recognition because this book here actually features all new original stories, as the previous issues actually featured like reprints of Frank Cho's original school newspaper comic strips, like college newspaper strips. So yeah, this one is the only issue I believe that featured all new material. So yeah, I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for comic book deserving of wider recognition. Okay, really cool. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is another independent comic book. And here we have Luba's Comics and Stories. And this comic book series is actually for adults only. And it features black and white interior art. And this one was written and illustrated by Gilbert Hernandez and edited by Gary Groff. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And yeah, this is a really neat one. And this series originally won a Harvey Award for Best New Series in 2001. So yeah, really cool book. And as I said, this book is only for adults only. So yeah, and the Hernandez brothers have received like a sort of like a cult following. And I do recommend looking out for any of those books in the back issue bins. And these issues can be pretty tricky to find in high grade. And if you do find them in high grade, then get them graded, because these are good like investment books for the future. So yeah, really neat. And someday I believe the Hernandez brothers will get the recognition they deserve. So yeah, really cool. Okay, what the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And this is another Hernandez comic book. And this is from a Love and Rockets series. And this is Penny Century issue number 1. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And yeah, this one's a really neat one that won a Harvey Award in 1998 for Best New Series for Jamie Hernandez. And this issue is also edited by Gary Groff. Yeah, and this one was published by Fantagraphic Books in 1997. But yeah, this is a really, really cool Good Girl cover to keep a lookout for. And yeah, a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner. So yeah, really, really neat. And it's another book, if you can find in higher grade, then get graded. But this is another book that's also for adults only and features black and white interiors. So yeah, but a really, really cool series to look out for. And also look out for any Love and Rockets issues in the back issue bins also. Okay, really, really cool. Okay, well, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Plastic Man, issue number 1 by DC Comics. And this one is a really, really neat series by Kyle Baker. And this one features a story called Rebound. And I awarded this comic a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And this series actually won an Eisner Award in 2005 for Best Title for Younger Readers, Best Comic Publication for a Younger Audience, for Kyle Baker and Scott Morse. Yeah, and I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award, and I also awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for comic book series deserving of wider recognition. So yeah, really, really cool. And Kyle Baker is a really talented artist writer who's won numerous awards in the past. And yeah, and hopefully you win some more in the future as well. A very talented guy. So yeah, this is a Plastic Man issue number 1 that awarded a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. Okay, right, and a comic book series deserving of wider recognition. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Runaways, Volume 2, issue number 11, featuring a James Jean cover, who won Eisner Awards 6 consecutive years in a row between 2004 to 2009 for Best Cover Artist. And this is a really kind of odd book that I've awarded a Trophy Comics Award for Oddball Comic Book. And yeah, this is a really, really neat one, featuring a really cool under the radar James Jean cover. And yeah, also keep a lookout for issue number 14, because James Jean also illustrated the cover for that issue also. So yeah, really, really neat book, an under the radar book that you can find for cover price. And yeah, James Jean will someday get his due also, I believe. He's a very talented artist, and as I said, he's won numerous Eisner Awards through his cover art. So yeah, this is a really, really cool one that you can find for really cheap. So yeah, Trophy Comics Award for Oddball Comic Book. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Scholastic Free Comic Book Day sampler issue featuring a Dogman story. And Dogman has got a film out on the cinema at the moment. And Dogman is very popular, and his books outsell pretty much everything on the comic market these days. And yeah, Dogman won a Diamond Gem Award in 2019 for Best All Ages Series. And the publisher Scholastic currently commands 40% of the bookstore market share. So it's way more than Marvel and DC Comics. As I say, Dogman is a very popular character, and he's got numerous graphic novels available. And I believe this book here could actually be the first appearance of Dogman in a standard comic book series or comic book issue. So yeah, really, really neat and cool book to keep a lookout for. And it's a book you find for quite cheap. And yeah, very popular character, Dogman. And yeah, I gave this book a Trophy Comics Award for promotional comic book and a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. So yeah, really, really cool free comic book day to keep a lookout for in the back issue bins. So yeah, and as I said before, don't ignore free comic book day issues, as there's some real hidden gems like this one. And there are actually a number of other Dogman free comic book day issues to keep a lookout for as well. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Shazam, issue number 1, featuring a story called Meet the Captain. And this book I awarded a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And this book originally won an AIPT website Best number 1 issue of 2023. And it was tied with Transformers number 1 by Image Comics Skybound. And I showcased that book in my previous Trophy Comics Awards video. So do check out that video. And check out my other Trophy Comics Awards videos. And with this video, I would have showcased 130 books to keep a lookout for. And these are all like kind of like hidden gems that you can find for really cheap. So yeah, really, really cool books. And yeah, this book here, I awarded a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Spectrum, The Worlds of Gerry Anderson. It was published by Time Bomb Comics, who actually won a Tripwire Award in 2022 for Best Small Press Independent Publisher in the UK. And this is a 44-page anthology featuring 3 original stories based on New Captain Scarlet, Space Precinct, and Terrorhawks. And this book was released after a successful Kickstarter campaign. And I believe this was the only book that was actually published by Time Bomb Comics in that time span where they won the award. So I felt this book here deserved the Trophy Comics Award for comic book deserving of wider recognition. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show is a free comic book day issue of SpongeBob Freestyle Funnies 2014. And this one's a really, really cool one. As SpongeBob SquarePants TV show is a multiple award-winning TV series. And I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And this book here actually features a King Kong movie homage cover, which is actually a classic award-winning film. So yeah, really, really cool. And basically there are loads of SpongeBob Freestyle Funnies to look out for, like free comic book day issues. They tend to release one every year. So yeah, keep a lookout for SpongeBob Freestyle Funnies when you're out in the back issue bins. So yeah, really, really cool. And SpongeBob SquarePants is a really popular character and cartoon series. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay, so on to the next book. Okay, the next book I'd like to show is kind of an obscure book now. And this one is based on a Disney theme park attraction. And it's the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And this is a Halcyon Legacy issue number 1. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And the Disney theme park attraction in Orlando, Florida, in America, has won a FIA Award for Outstanding Achievement Brand Experience. And basically, on Disney World, they actually had like it was like a hotel, and it was basically a Star Wars Star Cruiser, and people could stay on there, and families could stay on there and have an interactive experience. And actually, that actually felt like they were actually inside a Star Wars, like in the Star Wars universe. And the actual theme park attraction actually closed down like last year because it didn't do so well. It had a story set between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So this is kind of like an obscure comic book now. And I know those films didn't get like weren't very well received by Star Wars fans, but those films do have their fans. So this is a good book to keep a lookout for. And also the fact that this issue features a photo cover featuring D309 or D309, who was the ship's logistic droid. And there are a number of like merchandise, like figurines, I think, merchandise available for this character. And I believe they're actually quite pricey also. But the fact that this one actually has a photo cover, and photo covers are actually quite collectible. And also the fact that this is an issue that could be tricky to find in high grade because of Marvel's flimsy paper quality. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase this book. And I gave this comic book a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. So yeah, really, really neat Star Wars book, an obscure Star Wars book to keep a lookout for. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay, what the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Teen Titans, Volume 5, issue number 11. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Aunt Lucia for his Bombshells variant cover. And a lot of the Bombshells variant covers actually have statues made out of them. So yeah, this is a really, really neat one that has a Raven statue, like collectible DC Comics statue. So yeah, I gave this book a Trophy Comics Award for inspiring comic book cover for Aunt Lucia. So yeah, as I said, keep a lookout for other Bombshell variant covers that have had statues made out of them. So yeah, really, really cool book and cover series to keep a lookout for. Okay, right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have The Unbelievable Gwenpool, issue number 0. And this book here, I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint. And this book reprints Gwenpool's origin story from Howard the Duck, volume 6, number 1 to 3. And it also collects the holiday special. And this book features stories called Miss Paul If You're Nasty and Gwenpool's Holiday Adventure. And this is a really, really cool reprint that collects the stories for the first time in one place. And there are a number of variant covers available for this issue. And there's also a much rarer second printing that features a blue logo. So yeah, keep a lookout for that book, as it's pretty much like a ghost book. And yeah, really, really cool book that I awarded a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint. So yeah, really, really cool. And Gwenpool has started to develop like a cult following. So yeah, really, really cool books to keep a lookout for in the back issue bins. Okay, right. The next book I'd like to show is this one here. And here we have Unicorn Crush, free comic book day issue. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And this one's a really, really neat one. That was number 1 on Midlife Crisis crossover website, top 20 best free comic book day books of 2024 list. So yeah, really, really neat. And yeah, I awarded this book a Trophy Comics Award for more value for money comic book. And yeah, really, really cool. And this is another book that would be really cool to give to like a child, like a girl, to just get into comic books. So yeah, really, really cool. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show is this one here. And I've only got 2 more books to show in this video. Okay, so the first one I'd like to show out of the 2 is this one. And here we have Usagi Yojimbo, number 6, published by IDW Publishing. And I awarded this comic book a Trophy Comics Award for comic book worthy of a reprint, as this book reprints Stan Sakai's first ever Usagi Yojimbo story called The Goblin of Adachigahara. And this issue also won a Ringo Award in 2020 for Best Single Issue. And this is a really, really cool one and reprint, because it reprints the story for the first time in full colour, and it also adds 8 additional story pages. So yeah, very, very cool book, and a Trophy Comics Award winner for comic book worthy of a reprint. So yeah, really, really cool series. And there were a number of retailer incentives available for this issue to keep a lookout for. So yeah, really, really cool. So yeah, and I recommend keeping a lookout for any of their IDW, the Usagi Yojimbo books. And yeah, the series is highly recommended. And it's a multiple award-winning series. Okay. Right, the next book I'd like to show, and the last book I'd like to show in this video, is this one here. And here we have Sot, issue number 1. And I awarded this comic book a a Trophy Comics Spotlight Award. And I also awarded this comic book a Trophy Comic Book Award for comic book series deserving of wider recognition, as this book is like credited as being like the first manga inspired American comic book, and it's a really neat series. I believe that lasted for 36 issues, and the first 12 issues were published in full colour, and the rest of the issues in the series from 13 onwards up to 36 were actually had black and white interiors. But this is a really cool series that won a Jack Kirby Award in 1985 for Best New Series, and it also won a Russ Manning Award in 1985 for Best Newcomer for Scott McCloud. And yeah, this is a manga inspired American comic book series that lasted for 36 issues, and this is a book that really truly deserves wider recognition, as yeah, it's a really cool series, and this definitely deserves more attention. So yeah, Trophy Comics Spotlight Award winner, Trophy Comics Award for comic book series deserving of wider recognition. Okay, so that's my 5th Trophy Comics Awards video, everyone. Thank you for watching, and take care, everyone out there. Look after each other. Until the next video, I'll see you later. Okay, thank you. All right, bye.